have with us Professor Ravi. Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you very much.
So, as you were the chair of the judging panel, can you tell us how the process was?
Yeah, we had a very rigorous process. And first of all, it was a stage of calling applications, and there was a round of screening the application because we have given a well cleared assessment criterion. And then Dr. Solo and the initial team did a wonderful job. And then the first screening process evaluation took place. Then the most toughest round came because we got like around 200 plus best of the best applications, and our team members locally, internationally representations were there, different fields were there, education, industry, entrepreneurship, whatnot. And it was like very holistic approach of looking at profiles, application process. Even some of the cases we happened to go for observational assessments. So we went through social media, we went through some profile inspection process. It has gone to that deeper, not only the documentation process. So finally, I would say very transparent. We had a lot of arguments. Even in my speech, even I mentioned, we had a lot of arguments about some awardees and the categories, but I believe strongly with my very versatile team, we got the best, very transparent manner. So we are very happy about today.
So, as you know, Surya is a part of this collaboration. What do you think about the brand?
Yeah, actually, I have seen a lot of brands are sponsoring things, but sponsoring for the country's future, not for immediate commercial gain. That's the first thing I should appreciate. And I know the Surya brand from our age of that time, and it's a national brand, and of course, Sri Lankan pride, entrepreneurial brand. And I must appreciate the way how they have contributed for the real manpower development of the country. So all the best for this company and the senior management because it's been the national impact brand. That's what we need. Rather limiting to a commercial purpose. We need to have profits, but you get impact to community. So I wish all the best for the Surya's future and many more to do as a national brand.
Last question for you. As this is an event that is empowering the youth, is there any advice you would like to give?
Definitely, because the real story comes after the award. So now, even in my speech, I mentioned there are three things very particularly. You have received award for your profile, that's fine. But another two pieces to go, your purpose and the people. Now you have to appear for the award, and youth never give up, because if you got something to award for your life, there are people looking at what the next moment. Your invention, your innovations, the colorful achievement should have a sustainability. No one will come and make your dreams clear. It's only. But I always believe is Uttana Virya, that's the best asset someone can have it. So youth, please don't give up, because we need your contribution, priceless contribution for our country right now, not tomorrow. So you are the best to do it, and always, amalgamate your skills, your thinking with the old generation too, and have that blended attitude, and don't give up, because our country needs desperately your contribution right now, not tomorrow. So even I request, you can go around the world, but don't leave the country that soon. Give your most expertise thing back to our country, and there you can do a lot of works.
So basically, live in the moment, you mean?
Definitely.
We have with us Dr. Sulochana Sigera. Hi, how are you doing today?
Good and happy.
So can you tell me a little bit about this event? It was a fabulous event. Can you talk about the planning process and the judging?
So it was actually, the planning process was, we had a 1 month mentorship, then the conference, then the awards. It's a huge process. And we want to do something unique for this year because this is the 5th year. So we changed from the new generation to the youth top 40. right? So encouraging and recognizing the top 40 youth in Sri Lanka was our objective.
That's brilliant. Also, since Surya is a sponsor of this event, what do you think about the brand?
That brand has been with us for past 4 years and this year the fifth year. So they have understood that youth has the most opinion people are in a society's youth, and they are the market share. So they have understood, and that's a brand, local brand, where they actually recognize our youth. So I'm really grateful for Surya for empowering the next generation and also not finding the negative side by the positive side.
So basically, Surya is growing with the youth.
Yes, because that's a present, it's not the future. Youth are the present of Sri Lanka.
Any future plans that we should be looking forward to?
For the new generation, yes, because that's why we put Asia, because we want to take new generation out of Sri Lanka to compete with the Asia and show our talent to the Asia.
So, since this is an event that empowers the youth, any advice for the next generation?
Yeah, be responsible and create your own path, but don't forget you are a Sri Lankan citizen.
have with us Miss Gauri Rajan, the Executive Director of Sunmatch Company. Hi, how are you doing?
Great.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the collaboration you have had with Women in Management? And
Well, since the inception of this program, we have been partnering the WIM and the National Youth Council to recognize the youth, the young talent. Because if you look at our history, Sunmatch, which birthed Surya 40 years ago, was the first safety wax matches in Sri Lanka. And since then, we have always been supporting and empowering the youth, and also been helping to foster creativity.
as this is a event that empowers the youth, is there any advice you would like to give for the next generations to come?
Well, I always say that the youth should not get discouraged easily, because I believe nothing is impossible. And even if you, I've noticed the tendency where when you fall down, you should not give up. You always learn to pick up the pieces and go back to the drawing room.
We have with us Dr. Rahanta. Hi, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you very much.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your thoughts about today's event?
See, the youth of Sri Lanka is going to determine the key decisions that are going to be taken in the next 3 months. As you know, there is 2.3 million new people who are going to give the vote, and they've essentially come from Gen Z, and Gen Z are people who are data driven, and the way they think and the way they take decisions is slightly different. So what we have to keep in mind is that all these alliances which are there from different parties is going to be of no use to the Gen Z. Gen Z will start taking decisions on a combination of aspects which is very different to Gen X and Gen Y. So it's going to be very interesting, and today's event is a reflection of those outstanding people who have been recognized for their talent. And we also see that corporate Sri Lanka is now moving away from what school you have been and what your family comes from, but more to do with your talent. So all these outstanding achievements of youngsters will definitely start getting reflected in the next few months with the kinds of job opportunities that are there, and that's what's unique, and to my mind it's a turning point of Sri Lanka.
Thank you so much for that. So, since Surya is a part of this incredible event, what do you think about the brand?
See, Surya is one of the most trusted brands by an housewife. If you take a typical household, they get up in the morning and they would light the oil lamp, or they would light the stove, and the last thing that they would also do is that they would be once again lighting that oil lamp in the night. So the power of a brand happens to be the value that it gives to a household, and that value comes from this brand called Surya. So it's a fantastic partnership that Surya has struck in terms of nurturing the youth of Sri Lanka, and they've been doing this for the last, I think, 5 years from the inception, and we have seen how this brand has grown over time. So from matchboxes to Handunkuru, and now to Sambrani. You have seen how the brand extension is taking place, and the relationship with the housewife is now being percolated to the youth, which I think is a fantastic stepping stone. As you know, economy grew around 5.5% in the first quarter of 2024, and the last quarter of 2023 the economy grew about 4.5%, so which means that the turning point of the economy has happened. So Surya coming and tying up with the future is I think a good state for the brand.
So it's a brand growing with the youth itself.
Absolutely.
So, as this is an event that empowers the youth, is there any advice you would like to give the next generation?
Research shows that talent is good, and talent is what people get recognized for. But what's most important to remember is that successful people are people who have a lot of grit. And grit means that when everybody says when things are not working, everybody says that chances of success is poor, the achiever is a person who's not only just talented but also someone who says I will show the world that I can perform. So they say that grit is the most important skill of the youngsters.